right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. A very late night tonight. The finals of the 212 Mr. Olympia just wrapped up, and Keone Pearson picks up his third 212 Olympia victory. Sean Clarita in second. You had Lucas Garcia in third, Nihat Kaya in fourth, and Courage Opara rounding out the top five in fifth. So look, I think Keon deserved this. I think Keon left the door open at prejudging, but he slammed the door shut at the finals. Me and Keon were texting after prejudging. He texted me after I posted my video that I thought it was close between them at prejudging, and that I think he left the door open. He texted me and said, "Bro, I promise I'm going to fix the things that I need to fix when I come back for the finals." And I gave him some feedback. I was critical. I was honest with him. Trust me, I didn't glaze him. And he appreciated that, and he said, look, I'm going to fix all of that. I told him I felt like he needed a little bit more oil. I told him I felt like he needed to tighten up from the back. I told him I felt like he needed to stay away from hitting that side ab and hit a vacuum pose instead. Because I was like, bro, you know, all this discussion about your midsection, most of the pictures that fans are posting where your midsection looks bad, it's when you're hitting that side ab. I was like, you don't really need to keep hitting that pose because I think Sean looks better than you in the side ab, and it's not a mandatory pose. So when you do the abs and thighs, just try to hit a vacuum pose when you want to hit the side ab, because that way your structure is shining in that pose, and that's something that Sean Clarita doesn't have as much of, but his side ab is better than your side ab, so try to stay away from it. And that was one of the poses that got posted the most, where his midsection is kind of spilling out, and I felt like he had better control just overall of his midsection. But I think when you look at him, he definitely tightened up for these finals. You could see a lot more definition in his glutes and hamstrings. The back was tighter. He was tighter overall. And even at prejudging, I said I still think that Keon is going to win this thing. He just got to come back for the finals tighter, and that's exactly what he did. Because even at prejudging, it was the best Clarita maybe that we've ever seen. Clarita was definitely more conditioned than Keon. But if you go to shape and size, I think that Keon definitely has both of those things over Sean. And it's not like Keon was in bad shape. He just wasn't quite as tight as last year, and he definitely wasn't as tight as Sean. So he left the door open with conditioning. And I think he closed that door at finals by coming back tighter, which is what I thought he would do. And trust me, Keon wasn't happy with how he looked at the prejudging either. But I think that he did exactly what he needed to do for these finals and came back better. And it also makes me wonder, like, I know that this was a bigger weight cut than usual for Keon. We heard that he was, 220 plus at weeks out from the show, and he cut down to 211.9. He made weight by like 0.1 of a pound. So he was like very close to the limit. So I know the weight cut was difficult, but I think this is another example of, is Keon somebody that he will excel and do better in open because there is no weight cut? Maybe his physique looks better in open without having to stress the body out for a cut like that. And maybe this is proof that he needs to move to open, because maybe now his physique is getting to a point where it is hard for him to make weight, and it is hard for him to cut back down and get under that 212 limit, like we saw with Urs. I mean, Urs, his physique obviously wanted to grow. It didn't want to be restricted by a weight limit, and now he looks, I think, better than ever. Even though at the prejudging it looks like he's outside of the top 12, I still think this is where his physique belongs, and maybe that's the case with Keon, where it's just no longer realistic to keep cutting for 212. With the size that he's put on, his physique is ready to grow. But this is what I really respect about Keon, is Keon even said in the post-show interview, he's like, at the end of the day, after prejudging, I wanted criticism. I wanted to hear negative things about my physique because I wanted to know what to fix. And apparently Phil Heath gave him some good advice. And even me, that's been like a D1 glazer for Keon, I only gave him criticisms when we were talking earlier. And he said that's exactly what he wanted, because he wants to know what to fix and come in better. And that's exactly what he did. I showed him, I even said, people are posting, side-by-side comparison pictures of your back from last year and your back from this year. And he's like, yep, I know. That's what I'm going to fix for tonight. The back will be better. And I really don't think, after watching the finals, people may be upset still because Sean Clarita had everybody talking after prejudging. I mean, everybody was like, okay, Sean should win now. And everybody, including Keon, was I'm sure Keon even had it in the back of his mind that he might not have won at prejudging, and he knew he had to really turn things around for the finals. But I think anybody watching the finals, I think everybody has to agree that Keon came back and shut the door. I think Keon at the finals 100% won that show. You could make an argument for Sean at prejudging, but I think at finals, it was 100% Keon all day.
Arnold Arcade. Blast physiques with aggressive lasers. Unleash your arsenal of flash and trash. Armed with fog machines, lasers, and an endless thirst for attention. Stack power in Flextress. Chase glory in chasing gains. Play solo. Team up with a friend or battle online. And best of all, like the live stream, it's all free. Arnold Arcade. Download yours today.
And actually, as a matter of fact, the scorecards just got posted for 212. And I even said this to Keon when we were texting earlier. I said, bro, you left the door open, but I'm still not even convinced that you actually lost prejudging. And if you look at the scorecards, Keon won both prejudging and finals with a perfect score of 5, and Sean Clarita was solidly in second place at both prejudging and finals. I'm actually a little bit surprised that it wasn't closer than that at prejudging, but I literally said that earlier. I'm not even convinced that you actually lost the prejudging. I just think it was closer than normal and that you left the door open for sure. And I know that the high and the low scores are thrown out in bodybuilding, but I thought maybe at prejudging you could have like a 1 or 2 point decision. I really do think it was close at prejudging. I'm kind of surprised that both prejudging and the finals, both Keon and Sean had the same score. But if you had any doubt, it's right there on the scorecards. Keon won both, and I think he slammed the door shut at the finals. And now we don't have to wait very long. Keon is now a 3-time 212 Mr. Olympia champ, and before the end of this month, we're going to see Keon make his open bodybuilding debut in Prague, and he could be set up to have a hell of an October, winning his 3rd Olympia title and potentially winning Prague as well. I mean, I think this is a testament to Keon's shape and structure and how dangerous he can be in open, is that even with Sean Clarita being at his all-time best, Keon was still able to win prejudging with the shape and the structure, even though, admittedly, he was off. I think that's just a testament to how good he is, and I cannot wait to see what he's able to do as an open bodybuilder, and I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. I think you're going to see some freaks show up to that Prague Pro, and I think Keon is going to do extremely well at that show. And just think about it. If he wins Prague, he's essentially getting the earliest possible qualification for 2026, the 2026 Olympia, giving him all year to prepare for Open, giving him at least one full offseason, even though I want to see him do the Arnold so bad. I want him to win Prague and do the Arnold anyway. But if he wanted to, winning Prague would give him the maximum advantage to just focus on next year's Olympia, coming in and just dominating at the Open Olympia next year. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, click that bell notification icon if you have not already. And as always, I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power signing out. All right, guys, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to this channel if you enjoy the content. Also, check out my Instagram at Nick Strength Power. My Facebook page, which is simply Nick Strength and Power. My secondary YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Vlogs, for vlogs and bonus content that you will not see on this channel. And consider subscribing to my 3rd YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Pokemon, which is all things Pokemon and trading card games, completely unrelated to this channel. So if you're into that, give that one a look. And all links to merchandise and social media will be in the description box below. If you guys want a Nick Strength and Power t-shirt, that will be in the Shopify link below. Have a great day.